Hello and welcome to another edition of the Chill Stream. Roland's not here yet. He will hopefully be here in the next 10, 15 minutes or less. He had a gig that he has to teach at till about 10, so I'm not sure whether he's got to get home first and then get here. Hopefully, home's not too far away. But he said he would probably be here a few minutes after 10. Um, and of course, Roland has an not Indiegogo, a project up on from my comic, and of course, he also he's part of or is the lead guy behind Silverline. I think it's Silverline. Let me check that out just to be sure. Yeah, Silverline Comics. So, yeah, well, hopefully in the next, like I said, 10, 15 minutes, we'll have him on to talk to him about his campaign, a bit about his comics, or the comics that he's involved in. Hey, good night, Spoon. How are you? So, yeah, hopefully all that goes fine. But I guess in the meantime, we can talk about whatever else till hopefully he comes by. I went and seen two movies today. Again, I went and seen Garfield, which is pretty good, and I went and seen the latest Planet of the Apes movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Both movies were pretty good, worth the money that I paid. It's a cheap day, so um, that's good in itself. Uh, so what else can I say? I just come here for yeah. Funny guy, good night spoon. Funny guy. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. Hey, Sketchbook, how are you? As I was just saying, I'm not sure whether you guys caught. Roland hopefully will be here in the next 10, 15 minutes. He had to teach till 10. So he was saying about being here a few minutes after 10. So I'm not sure whether he's going to get home first or not, or whether he's going to stop somewhere and just come on with his phone or not. I don't think he sent the link I sent him yet for StreamYards over on Twitter. But so I'm going to try and fill. Who is this Roland person? Well, Roland is he has a campaign on From My Comics. He's some part of maybe the owner of Silverline Comics. He has a website and all that. There is a link for all that stuff down in the description. So um, also didn't hear Abigail on that list of movies. Yeah, I forgot about that. You might have to send me a link about that. Uh, is that in theaters or not? Is it going to be in theaters or is it just a movie out there that you're suggesting I should watch? Good night, Spoon. I believe he's the owner. Yeah. But yeah, even if he doesn't get here by I don't know 20 after, maybe half past, I will go over his campaign without him, and try and give him a little love, as they say, or might say, the campaign a little love. Um, Unfortunately, we won't get as much to know about things without him here. Um, yeah, so I went and seen those movies. As you might be able to see, I got myself a really big Hulk action figure, although it's not doesn't got a lot of points of articulation, but it is what it is. So, and I only got that for $5. I got that at the dollar store, and I'm keeping an eye out for if Roland has seen my text. I just hope he didn't forget about tonight. That's the biggest thing. What else can I say? Well, I was going to talk about some stuff about me. Oh, have either anybody here yet checked out my little small little new series? Only two videos. Just out. Well, I know Sketchbook's checked out the one, but going out in the city and doing some painting. Of course, the first one didn't get all recorded, but I painted the Canadian Shield emblem, and then the second one I started painting of the Canadian Shield. Here's the one that I started the Canadian Shield. Well, hopefully, sometime this week, I'm going to go back to the same spot and finish this up. I wanted to get out there by now, but I haven't. I did this last Friday. Hopefully, I will, get a lot more going. And of course, here is the emblem. And these are going to be for sale if anybody wants them. I'm not sure what the price yet, but I figured do these, and when I'm at my art crawl, or if anybody on here wants them on my channel, I'd be willing to part with them for whatever. I haven't determined amount of money yet. Okay, so let's see. We're going to put the fan on. You're doing edibles? No, I'm not doing edibles. Although technically I did do an edible. I did a Canadian snack video and I put it over on my Pied Piper of Hamilton channel as well. So that went up on last week too. Hey Joshua, how are you? We're waiting for Roland. I haven't even seen whether he hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't even seen that I sent him the link yet. Hopefully he hasn't forgotten about tonight. Hey, Cement, how are you? So right now we're just trying to waste time till he hopefully gets here. He's supposed to be here. I guess otherwise I'm going to have to change the name of this stream with just the chill stream, no talking. Although that'll probably be after the fact, but but how is everybody doing this evening? Hope everybody is doing good. Tell me about your whole edible experience. Well, this edible experience was me tasting a bag of chips, a new flavor called Magic Masala. It's supposed to be a taste of India. So they were pretty good. I liked them. But you want to know more about them, you check out my Pied Piper channel and check out that video. Maybe some of my other Canadian snack videos as well. I believe there's also a link to that channel in the description here somewhere. That doesn't sound like we're talking about the same thing. Oh, I doubt we are, but chips are edible, right? So I just thought I'd go off of what you said, but take a totally different meaning to what you meant, most likely. Spicy food does not equate to pot food. True. Okay. Hopefully he finds that I actually sent him the link soon and gets here. Like I said, he had to do some teaching job that he has till about 10. So hopefully he's here fairly quickly. I can, talk, right? Somewhat. I do that, interact with the chat like I do. Hopefully he's able to come on for a bit. We'll get to know Roland about his comics or the comics that he's involved with. Like I said, I'm not sure whether he owns Silverline or what that case is. We'll find out when we hopefully talk to him about it. The books he has on right now on thing are Silverline Team Up 1 and 2. So that's pretty good. And 32 backers and 4 days to go. And he's raised just under $1,500 US. So that's good. Does he teach the difference between drugs and spices? Probably not. I'm not sure what he teaches. Maybe we can ask that when we talk to him, hopefully in a few minutes. Obviously, it's 10 minutes after, and he's not here yet. He hasn't even seen the link. Like I said, hopefully he hasn't forgotten about tonight. We did set this up just over a week ago, about 11 days ago. So you wouldn't think it would be, and he said he was going to put it on his calendar and all that. So you wouldn't think that would be a problem. But yeah, as I'm saying, I saw Garfield. Garfield had a lot to do with edibles, food. Edibles as in food that is edible. We could, pizza, lasagna, milk. Because it is Garfield, right? And then I've seen the new Planet of the Apes movie, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It was looking good, in my opinion. And I'm not sure what else to say. It's looking like it could start tying in a lot more with the original. Well, not the original, but the 2001 version. Okay. I'm hoping. So we're going to just try and chitter chat for the next 8 minutes or more, and then we're going to go check out his campaign without him here. Do the best we can. And hey, Elk, how are you? Or Parasocial. It's always hard to change to it, calling somebody something new when you've known them for one thing for a long time. So what shall we? Oh, as I was saying, has anybody other than Sketch? Well, I know you checked out the first one, but has anybody checked out my new painting in the city videos? Here, what do you think of them? If you have, um, it's a learning as you go thing. You can call me out. This is just a comedic name. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm hoping to get out tomorrow or Thursday to do the second part of the Canadian Shield one for that. Oh, I saw you on Pier 4. Well, technically, both of those were Pier 4. The one with the Canadian Shield emblem and the one with the Canadian Shield himself. Technically, they were both at Pier 4, but one was a lot longer video. Pier, Peir 4. Pier, as in what you walk out on, or a boat is tied up to. Well, I guess they could be tied up to a dock as well. You know, dock, pier. I think they're similar. I'm not sure. Hey, Jeff. How are you tonight? Oh, you spoke pier. Yeah. I'm not sure whether it's EI or IE for pier. I think it might be IE.
Or E, except that C, except in
Other cases.
words like way, neighbor, and Rottweiler.
Yeah. Jeff's just saying, yeah. So, yeah, Pier 4 is what it's called. Although I might not have been, I'm not sure whether it was at Pier 4 or Pier 8. I was at some pier down near Pier 4, for sure, if not Pier 4. But yeah, it's a nice, serene area. You've seen some of it in the background of the second video. Um, So that it, that's nice. I'm gonna probably go to the same spot to finish that off. Although I'm gonna switch the camera angle, so my big fat hand doesn't get in the way of seeing what I'm drawing. I tried to go from above or whatever so you could see in part of it. It you know, it's just, and I gotta make sure the audio records properly. Actually, I've got to put OBS on my laptop because I'm using that. At first, the first one I tried to use my camera on my phone, but it bounces up and down a little too much, which I don't care one way or other. But also, the first half of that first video didn't get recorded, and I don't know what happened. Same thing happened, with my taping my mom's funeral. Well, the service part, not the going in amongst the viewing area. So, yeah, that's a pain with that. Hopefully, we got another 3 minutes, and then we're gonna. I'm gonna try and start this with a Roland. Hopefully, he gets here sometime within. I'll give him as long as I can talking about it myself without being able to answer probably many questions or talking with him about it. Uh, it says Pier 4. That looks right. But yeah, Cement says he liked it. I saw you on Pier 4. But are you liking those types of videos? The second one I had to put music to again because although I thought it was all not copyright because I have it with it's in my editing program. So but I don't care. It's not making me money yet. How was what did you find out? Well, you found out nothing from me, so because I don't do that stuff. Okay, so why do you rush everything? Me rush? How am I rushing? I try not to rush, but sometimes I do rush. I guess, yeah. But we're like almost 20 minutes in. We're supposed to be talking to a guy about his campaign, and the guy's not here yet. Um, like I said, he's, I guess, got a teaching job. He has a class or something that he teaches. Uh, so I'm not sure how long he said about hitting the head and trying to popping on with me, but like I said, he might have forgot. A quarter to a 10, I gave him the link to come on, but um, I think I found out the tarot reader is on. uh, uh, we all touch the divine in our own way. Possibly. Oh, okay. So it's 20 after. Unfortunately, um, our guest is not here. Hopefully, he does show up at some point. Hey, Alpha. If he does show up, we will be sure to have him on. We'll bring him in and talk more about it. But as Ricada is getting off scot free, no jail time, he will be selling his YouTube channel for legal fees. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that'll help him or not. Okay, so here we are. Here's the campaign, anyways. Let me come back here. Let me really highlight this. I'll just nothing there. Okay, so let's see. World Coast Comics, you're doing good. Thank you. Um, yeah, we got quite a few people here tonight. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see your comments for the. Well, you know what? I can do that. I can. Let me go and pop out the chat on YouTube. Let's go to this. Let's bring up the chat. No, no, this is not my campaign, Alpha. This is not my campaign. This is for Stream Silverline Comics. This is supposed to be somebody that I'm having on. Alpha, not mine. Criminal trials are about 1/10 to 1/12 the cost of civil trials. He will be fine. Pretty sure you're not allowed to sell your YouTube channel, but I'm even more certain none will buy it. Yeah. But yeah, so uh, Roland is part of the team, if not the owner of this Silverline Comics, and he's got Silverline Teen Ups 1 and 2. Oh, how do I feel? uh, it had to happen. From the pages of Cat and Mouse, the popular demon shows up for the second issue in Silverline Team Up, featuring Champion and Miss Fury. Silverline Comics is a genre spanning comic and graphic novel publisher. So, about the campaign. Okay, so they got a video here. Let's play the video. Click it. Play. Okay, so there's the video. Let me check on whether Roland has seen that. No, he has not seen yet. Okay, so let's go to campaign again and let's get up the good art. Yes, it definitely looks good. I called the tarot decks. I enjoyed comparing them and the artistic and the cultural representation. So, me too. Okay, so there is another one here. We'll look at this one later. Note, if you are not in the U.S. and would like to physical words, please contact us contact us, and we'll arrange the reward of your choice to ship to you. Okay, so that you've got to get with them, talk to them about stuff. Let's see what they got down here. Oh, a couple nice bookmarks. Miss Fury has stumbled upon the fight between Champion and the villain duo Pistol and Nin. Champ seems to be down and out for the count, or is he? Special guest star Demon from the pages of Cat and Mouse shows up in this story. But will it be in time to save Champion? And to add fuel to the fire, Doc Woody gets terrible news from Champ's home in Chicago. So these are the covers, 3 different covers for number 2. Um, I like, I'm liking the covers. This gives me a Batmite feel. This one here. Uh-uh. Okay, so here's some interior arts, and we'll go over the rewards, the tiers, in a second. Commissions, Peter Clinton commissions. I guess this is the artist. Yeah, because Thomas Fleming commissions. Okay. Original artwork. Ooh, you will get original artwork on this. Inks by Thomas. The creators. Okay, so Roland Mann is the writer. Peter Clinton is penciler. Thomas Flormont is inker, and Roberta Conroy is the colorist. Okay, so let's go up and see what the tiers / rewards are. Okay, let's double check and make sure he's nope, he's not seen yet. Hopefully he gets here soon. Elk says he has a classic deck and Angelo Arabian deck, Barbara Moore's steampunk deck, Del Toro's deck. He has a few different decks. Just don't deck them. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, he's got 32 backers. He was going for 1,500 or $1,000 goal. He's 150%. He's $2 shy of 1,500 US. 4 days to go. So you can just contribute for a minimum of $1. Typing to the chat raises high enough for me to read your full comment. The heart is blocking the end. Yes, I hate it when the heart does that. You know what? Well, I highlight them, but I'm trying to go through this. Okay, so for $15 plus shipping, you can get the exclusive foil cover for issue 2. You like the shiny? You'll love the 90s. You love the 90s and all the foil covers and don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out. The only way to get this cover is to back this campaign and making this version of the cover extremely exclusive. Click the video on the left for a better view of what the final cover will look like. Awesome. So that's not bad. $15 for a foil cover for these, and plus shipping, of course. And then for $7 US, of course, this is all in US dollars. Silverline Team Up #2 single issue. You got issue 1, but you don't want the shiny foil. That's $2.90 for you. You just want one of them. Yeah, shiny Team Up cover #2, cover B by Dean, Zach, and Zing, Z, Dean, Zachary, Thomas, Flint, and Roberta Conroy, or get cover C by Thomas, Flormont, and Roberta Conroy, and you can pick. So that's not too bad. $7 for a comic plus shipping. Let's see, they're pretty cool. Okay, conditions responding to things. So $12. Silverline issue 2, Team Up #2, 2 issues, no foils, catch up. You got issue 1, but you don't want the shiny foil for the 90s, but you do want the other 2 comics. You can get both covers of Silverline Team Up #2, and one of them an issue 1 because you missed it the first time. And you get to select your covers. So that's not bad. 2 comics for $12, saving $1 per issue. The traditional, and then we got for $22 here. You get both covers. You get cover B and cover C, I think. You like the shiny. You love the 90s and all the foil covers. You don't want to miss out on this one, but you got your eye on cover B or C too. So is that one of each? Well, you get the shiny +1 or +2. I'm not sure. Well, it says foil cover +1. So how much? Okay, so that was 15 plus the 7. So yeah. That makes 22. 15 plus 7. I thought you might have been saving $1 or something there. A couple bucks, but I guess not. $25 plus shipping. You want all 3 of the covers offered. So pretty self-explanatory. $5 digital Silverline Team Up #2 digital. You're a citizen of the modern age and you want your reading content in digital. You already have issue 1. Okay, so $8 for digital. $8 you get both for digital, so that's $4. I might end up doing that. I'm not sure. Commissioned by Peter Clinton here. He is the penciler, so that's cool. There's a limit of 4 of those. 4 left, $50. Single character, roughly the size of a comic backing board, limited to 4. I wonder whether you get to choose thing. I'd love for him to, if I had the money, I might actually get him to do mine. And then 35 by Thomas, the inker. Again, another commission. Pencils by one of the pages by the guy. The penciler, one of the original art pages. I wonder whether you can get the comics with those or not. So he's got a few of the pages here by the thing. And so looks like the ink pages and some of the penciling ones are all sold out. Oh, here's one that's not sold out for $150. The inks. They all sound interesting. Let's go into the idea of all cover, inked cover. I'm liking all these for sure. These are all pretty self-explanatory. It looks like pages, you know. So I'm not sure what else I can say. Let me see whether he's sent me something. I'm gonna send him a message. Hey, Metal, how are you? If you wanna, so let's go back on me for now. Uh, so what else can we talk about till maybe Roland gets here? Obviously, it looks like I might have to change the title of this. I might just have to put my regular thumbnail up because it doesn't look like Roland's coming. Maybe he forgot. I'm not sure. Uh, I guess we will hopefully find out soon. If not, I'll let you know what I found out from my German grandfather that even the North American bicycle 52 card deck isn't standard across Europe. Made me interested in non-standard card deck traditions. So stop rushing, Rick. Now that you're doing everything twice, he shows. Yeah, that's all right. Did you decide on a permanent theme song? No, I have not. It's been a while since I worked on that stuff too. I'd have to go back and listen to that stuff. They all were interesting for sure. And I didn't get everything. I think I got most of everything out. Cement. So and I don't mind doing everything twice, and it probably won't be quite twice because there'll be a hopefully a bit of commentary from Roland if he comes. It's just me going over without Roland because I want to make sure I did go out over it. You know, uh, I wanted to give him some, you know, thing. You know, like I'm not able to back, so with way things are at the moment. Although maybe I might be able to afford $5 US. You know, I don't know. Something's better than nothing, right? Maybe just enough to put him over that thing. I I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 52 card deck we all know is based on tarot, and there is even an ancient game that they played using tarot. Well, I don't know one way or another for that. Good night, Spoon. Maybe Elk does. Uh, I remember watching a video where you had three different ones you were choosing from. Oh, okay. Get up. Okay, yeah, I probably did a live thing for that. But I also remember I put some pictures to a bunch of them and did upload them individually as well. Cement. Like there's like nine for the Canadian Shield. I'm not sure how many just for my channel. Um, I think for the channel one, I wasn't really satisfied with too much. They were all nice or whatever. And then I'd done a bunch for Snowdrift, Toxico. I did one for the Flame. You also rushed through your movie reviews. And chat reminds me of hurry and wait. Hurry up and wait. Well, my movie reviews that I do here, I'm not sure whether I'd call them movie reviews. Um, I'm just I'm saying I saw a movie, a little bit of what I thought. I don't want to go into any super detail because I don't like spoiling movies for people. Good Night Spoon. I just like giving my impression, I guess, of a movie. Yes, but although the American TV and movies and Las Vegas has made the 52 card deck the most widespread, it's not the only standard. There are different cards in Italian, German, and Spanish decks. Cool, 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 cool. Most gambling is done with 50 card deck. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I definitely got. I got to figure a way of doing um, movies without uh, giving away. Probably doing slightly better reviews. I may have heard that previously, but I don't remember how they are different. I guess there are card decks in other countries like German, Spain, and Italy. It's interesting to know that they are different. I think I would like to get a look at the other ones. Like, one through, like, do they have like one through nine or one through 10 and then Jack Queen King? Although the one is called an ace, of course. But although I haven't, I started it up again, but I gotta get back to it. I was doing a watch, first time watching. When I get a place of my own and things set up, I'm thinking of obviously continuing that, but also doing a rewatch. Movies that I haven't seen in like 10 years or more. Rewatching them, and usually it'll be movies that I've only seen once, maybe twice. I just looked up a time text, and that's what I'm seeing. What 1 through 10 plus Jack Creek? What are you seeing, Good Night Spoon? Just different faces on for the Jack Queen King, or do they use the diamonds, hearts, clubs, and spades? it'd be interesting to go to a casino or somebody that comes from Europe to go to a casino in the States or Canada and they're using these cards. Have you ever put hands on Honda? No, I haven't. But that question's probably the elk. I think there used to be different decks in North and South Italy. Italy was only unified after Canada and much after the U.S. Italian cards just came back with tarot style decks. Oh, okay. So it's 45 minutes here. Somehow I'm thinking sent them two messages. One like literally an hour ago, and then one about 10 minutes ago. Somehow I don't think we're getting Roland on. Rick Google. No, I don't think I'll do that. It could be a trap. It's a trap. No. Well, you know what? I'm going to put up the link in one of my things on Twitter here. Uh, See if anybody in the that group is going to come on. Probably not. I put the link in my group, DM groups. Nobody comes on anymore from them. I should probably just close them down, those groups. Poor Roland, he missed out on sharing a stage with Hamilton's premier comic book streamer. That may be true. I'm not sure. Rick, we're talking about cards across cultures, and I have previously stated I found the lewd deck distasteful. Why would you think I'm setting you up for? I don't know. Just because. It's because it sounded good to say. Oh, I don't even know how to spell that. What you're saying? Hannah Funda. Hannah Funda. Uh, Totally not double undone. Well, if you're into traditional Japanese art, Hanafunda is the way to go. It's also totally not double entendre. Just for the DNA. Oh, that's right. Yeah, as I said near the end, I think maybe Dunder double entendre is too strong of a statement. but definitely fun. There's a show called New Book Buddhist on a channel called Death Metal Hero. The guy whose channel is can help you get word about your comics. Oh, okay. Now let me. Oh, that's fine. There we go. His name is Luke. He's very fun. Oh, when I got another campaign going, I will be sure to look him up. I might watch him get in the chat. I'll give you a standard mod so you can maybe put a link to that channel if you want, Cement. Oh, tell him I referred you for sure. Uh, does he also have fans? Okay, also, just for, I looked it up and because it looks legit, I'll show it. Let's see. Stop sharing. Oh, I'll get it for you. Present. Okay, so there's some Hanafuda cards. They're interesting for sure. Black one side and just a picture on the other. So, they're definitely not playing cards. At least not the type of playing cards I'd play with. Okay, so let's go over to here. Pop that chat out. Oh, he's live right now too. Subscribe, and we will ring the bell. It's on all. Okay, so there we go. I like the way I say it better. Good night, spoon. Hanafuda. Na Hanafudu. 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 Oh, Hanafudu. But I'll definitely check him out later. I'm not. Does he do more? Does he do live strictly on Tuesdays, Cement, or? Or does he do live other days of the week? That's a who. Hana Fondu. Unfortunately, I have to take off because I have a store delivery guy coming. Okay, but I will catch you later. Take care, everyone. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Cement. Thanks for sharing the link. If you can, keep it on the background. Oh, we have Roland. Just give me a sec. My mouse wants. Hello, Roland. How are you?
Hey, I am so sorry. I teach class on Tuesday nights, and my class, and this is the last week, and the class ran over tonight. I kept looking at my watch, saying, "I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go," and would you know, they just kept asking question after question after question. So I am so very sorry for being
Oh, no
late.
problem. No problem. I normally go myself about 2 hours, so
Okay.
hey, so that it's no problem that you're late. I've been stalling.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate your grace. So thank you so much.
I went over your campaign a little earlier because I wasn't sure whether you're going to show or not. So it's
I'm
like,
sorry. Yeah.
but that's no problem. We can go over it again because me going over it with little to no knowledge of anything.
Right.
It's one thing. I'm just like, here's
Well,
this, here's this.
and hopefully, because I've got some stuff to show you. I got it shiny, right? Nice and shiny here. This is the exclusive cover.
The chrome foil.
Yep. That it's only available if they back the campaign, right? Once the campaign is.
And one of two tiers, I believe, if I read correctly.
Yeah, yeah. So So what we do is we always do our exclusives, right, for the campaign. And once the campaign is done, that's it. I mean, you can still get the book. Don't get me wrong. It's just that
of course
you can't get the fancy version.
Yeah. Obviously, you want to have something that you can only get with the campaigns. That way, hopefully, people back. But you always want to make the books available.
Yes, absolutely. And
because why be in comics otherwise?
Exactly right. And
yes, you're only going to get to buy these 15 copies for this one time, never again. We don't want to make any money here.
Yeah. Obviously we push this because it's obviously it costs a little more to do this and
produce.
And so it looks and of course it looks good, and it's going to be rare, because what we do is for these is that we print to backer numbers plus about a dozen, right? And the reason we do plus a dozen is because all the creators get copies, right?
Yeah.
So there's
not probably just in case anything happens in the mail or whatever, and you have to return.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll we've never actually lost any of the special editions in the mail. We did have one time. And they didn't have any of the exclusives. They just had regular issues. That looked like the mailman just threw the box in a puddle of water.
Oh,
yeah, and they had. I know they had like a trade and 3 or 4 comics. So, and we replaced all that because it's But
it is what it is, and it's part of doing business.
Yeah.
Good night spoon in my chat saying, can Roland say the name of the thing on his shirt? I think it just says Arkansas, right?
Arkansas, yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, Arkansas football.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm an Arkansas Razorback fan.
Oh, cool. I'm not a big football fan, but
I've had it. Yeah. Well, I'm a college sports guy. I don't watch professional ball. I know that there are professional football teams and baseball teams and all that stuff. I know that. I have zero interest in it. But I do like college.
Everybody has their specialty,
Yep.
Maybe sports.
Absolutely.
And some don't. Like I'm I like I'm in Canada here near Toronto, so I say my sports teams are either the ones in my city or the other ones, but I don't usually follow sports too much.
Gotcha. So you're not a big hockey fan then, huh?
No, I'm not. Surprisingly enough, being
Yeah.
Canadian.
I thought all Canadians like hockey.
Yeah. I can't skate that well. I never got into skating and all that. So, I guess that, diminished the whole hockey thing and all that. For me, anyways.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Mississippi, and we never got. Of course, I'm in Florida now, which is even further south, and so we never get snow. And so ice hockey is just a thing that I see on TV, right? I mean, it's just, I know that it exists, but I've never even had ice skates on, So I now have roller skates, right? I have roller skated, but yeah. I've never.
Roller skating is different than ice skating.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah, because it's the placement. If you have rollerblades, that's a little bit more closer to ice skating.
Right, because of the single
row.
Yeah. So I know what ice hockey is. I've actually been to a game. I went to when I was with Malibu in the 90s. We went as a company. We went to the Kings versus the Mighty Ducks, and
LA Kings.
Yes, the LA Kings and the Mighty Ducks, which Walt Disney's all I know. What Mighty Ducks, right?
And
that was
team
fun
back then?
He was. Yeah.
A famous Canadian hockey player.
Yeah, we had a couple of guys at the company at Malibu, accounting. I think they were all in accounting. They were big hockey fans, and so we just kind of went as a company, which was a lot of fun. We also went to like a Dodger baseball game.
Yeah.
So, and that was fun. It was cool to see at the Dodger game. They put, the Dodgers welcome Malibu Comics to the game, and so that was fun seeing that up on the big screen.
So you've worked with I take it you've worked with at Malibu as a writer before, since you were the writer on the book.
Well, I did do some work for them as a writer, but I was an editor with Malibu.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Back
I remember them from the 90s. I'm not sure of everything they did. They eventually bought out by Marvel.
Bought by Marvel. Yep, that's how I became a Marvel editor, because it was through purchase. I edited titles like Protectors, Dinosaurs for Hire, X-Mutants, and then when we launched the Ultraverse, I went over and edited Prototype, Sludge, Mantra, Strangers, and a few others.
I might have a thing or two of Protector in my comics. I'm not sure. All my comics are in storage right now.
Oh no!
It's unfortunately my mom died last August, and
I'm sorry to hear it.
Thank you. And I had to. I was living with her, so I had to give up the apartment we were in because I don't have a job at the moment and can't afford it. So everything's in storage while I'm on my cousin's couch.
Oh my goodness!
Well, looking for a job, but
thank goodness for family, huh?
Yeah. And hello, Apex. Apex Comics is here, and he's saying hi to both of us. So I guess
tell him to ask me some hard questions.
Yes, everybody ask him if you got smart. Well, I guess what got you into comics? Just in general.
Yeah, so comics is really what taught me to read. As a kid, I come from a family of farmers, and I had no interest in reading at all. I would rather
sounds like me a little bit.
I'd come in from school, and I would just immediately, stay outside, and I would play outside, throwing dirt clods at the cows in the pasture. I had no interest, and so my mom was trying to get me interested. And one day it just kind of happened. We just discovered comics, and I'm like, wow, I want that, right? You know how kids are. I'm like, Mom, I want it. And so Mom cut me a deal, and her brilliance, she cut me a deal. She said, I'll make a deal with you. If you read this and tell me what you read, I'll buy the comic book for you. And I'm like, yes, of course, Mom, I will absolutely do that, right? And so so I did. I loved it. It was the Avengers, and I was introduced to all these characters I'd never heard of before. And Captain America, who is what drew me to the book, he was on the operating table, and it was a continued story. And I'm like, I don't know what happens. I'm like, Mom, I got to get the next one, because I don't know what happens. It's like, I got to get this. So Mom said, okay, well, I'll go and I'll buy it for you. The same condition. I'll buy it. You read it, and you tell me what the story is, right? And so I did, and we did that for a couple of months, and I got hooked. I started buying Spider-Man, and eventually, after a few months, she bought me a subscription. Those that came in the mail. I had a subscription to Spider-Man and to the Avengers. Both of them coming in the mail, and I just never stopped reading once I went through high school and or junior high and high school and into college and reading them, and so
Goodnight Spoon says, I already asked the hard question. How does he pronounce Kansas? Probably like
So true story. There is a law on the books in Arkansas about the pronunciation, because apparently when the state was first being formed way back when, some people said Arkansas, right? So there were some people that said Arkansas and some people said Arkansas. So what a lot of people don't realize, that it's actually it's an Indian name after one of the rivers there. They called it like the Mississippi. The Mississippi is an Indian name. I don't remember what tribe it is, but Arkansas, the same thing, right? It was the name of the river there, but because it was spelt like Kansas, the debate was in the Arkansas legislature as to whether you say Arkansas or Arkansas. Arkansas clearly won.
Yeah. He says, follow-up question. Okay. It says, what is his position Alp, or is going by in the chat, parasocial audience, what is the position on Nat Turner's activity in Kansas?
Nat Turner's activity in Kansas. Nat Turner.
You just say, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm trying to figure that one out. Nat Turner in Kansas. Is that the guy who burned Lawrence, Kansas? No, that wasn't Nat Turner. That was what was that guy's name? Oh shoot, he Billy the Kid rode with him. Jesse James rode with him. What was his name? Nat Turner. Why do I know that name? I gotta Google it now, right?
And I should have warned you earlier too. Well, not that I got much of a chance, but my chat is full of good-natured trolls. So
all right. It's a slave rebellion here. 18. I don't know much about it. That's in Kansas. That's a long way from Arkansas. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't. I've now that I put that together, I recollect having heard about it, but I don't know that much about it.
Yeah, and that's no problem. Like I said, my audience is just being my audience. So okay. I guess
let them ask.
Yeah. There's another question about saying a follow-up question, but I'll ask that after I ask my follow-up question. So what got you into wanting to write comics?
Well, so I started making comics when I was in about the 6th grade. I'd been reading comics for a couple of years, and I started making them, just drawing them on because they become so important to me. I just started drawing them on notebook paper in class, and in my spare time. And the funny thing is, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you were just doing Marvel and DC comics." Well, actually, I never really did. I never really drew Spider-Man or X-Men or anything. I was making my own characters up. Now, admittedly, many of the characters that I very first created were just carbon copies of the Marvel characters.
Yeah, of course. That's what the kids that we do what we know, right?
Right. And so I just started making them, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. And it wasn't until I got into, again, keep in mind, I'm from a family of farmers. And so when I got to Arkansas, when I got to high school, I kind of talked to my parents like, I kind of like to make comics. Well, my dad's question was very simple. He was like, well, how are you going to make money? Dad, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. And I didn't have anyone growing up in Mississippi. It's because that's where I grew up. My mom and dad are from Arkansas. Got married there. I grew up in Mississippi. There was no one that I could ask, right? And so when I actually even got to college, this was in the 80s. Comic books were not well accepted in the halls of academia back then, right?
They're barely accepted nowadays.
Well, barely, but they are, right? You can find comic classes in a lot of universities today. So I was just like, I don't know. It's what it's what I would like to do, but I don't know how to do it. So the first couple of years in college, that's when I began to really learn about all the independent comics. First, Comico, Now Comics, all those in the 80s. And so I began to, and the Marvel Comics tryout book came out around that time, right? So I began to send submissions in to Marvel. And I got to, when I transferred from junior college to the major college, I met the artists Stephen Butler and Mitch Bird. Stephen became my roommate. And Stephen had done the same things, right? And Mitch didn't really have that much interest in it, but Stephen, he was like me. He wanted to go and do Spider-Man, right? But this was right after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had hit, right? So we, in our naivete, I guess, looked at the Turtles and said, well, if they can do it, we can do it, right? So we started just doing our own thing. And next thing we know, we had published it through a small company. They went belly up. We went to another company, and they published one issue and then went out of biz. And then we ended up at Malibu, which is who I worked for about 3 years as a freelancer before they hired me as an editor. And I moved out to California and became an editor with them.
Well, that sort of answers another question. How do you get hooked up with Malibu?
Yeah, we had already had Cat and Mouse published with another company. And so but when they went out of business, they sent us 300, 400 copies of the first. They're like, we're out of business. Here's all the comics, right? You can have them all. And so we just took
here's
those.
Our stock. What you did.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And so we took those and we took the photocopies because we were still working on 2 and 3 and 4, right? We were working still. And so we took all the photocopies and we sent those out. That's when we sent those to Innovation. We sent them to Now and Comico, and we sent them to everybody. Malibu was the company that responded to us. So we ended up being published by Aircell Comics, which was a subsidiary of Malibu.
Cool. Good Night Spoon says, follow-up question to Elk's question. Has he ever met Nat King Cole?
No, but I hear he's a merry old soul. Oh, that's old King Cole, isn't it? Old King Cole was a merry old soul. No. But he probably is a merry old soul.
And then he says, does he eat Little Caesars?
Oh, absolutely. Love Little Caesars. Yeah. Love pizza. Love Little Caesars. Yeah.
Yeah, pizza is good. I've had them before, Little Caesars myself.
Yeah.
But I guess so. You've started at this point, like you said, creating your own characters. So is that what led to creating this company, Silverline, which is I take it that's your company, or is somebody else's company? Or are you just working there, or what?
No, it's mine. So the abbreviated version of Silverline is that. So when Stephen and I, when we first put Cat and Mouse together, we tried to do it ourselves. In fact, if you go back to 1987 and look in the catalogs of the distributors, you'll find Cat and Mouse #1 offered by a Top Comics. So that was us. And so that didn't work out. The next company that we went to, we said, well, look, we're trying to create a little universe here. So we understand that you're going to be the publisher, but is there any way that you can differentiate our comics from what you're doing? Because we're trying to create a universe. He goes, sure. What do you? He goes, well, you'll be some kind of line or something. And so Stephen and I kicked it around, and really, we're both big fans of the Silver Age of comics, right? So what we said, well, what we really want to do is we want to capture the the spirit of the Silver Age of comics. We got like a silver line. That's how Silverline came about, right? So,
Cool.
so we went from doing that to becoming a packager. Now, what that means is basically I was freelance editing. Stephen was doing a lot of the art directions. What happened is that we would meet people in our travels with conventions, like in Louisiana, in Texas, in Arkansas, in Alabama, who were talented, but they just didn't have the connections, right? So we began to put teams together and sell them, right? A little bit like an agent of sorts. That's what
Yeah.
Silverline was then. Well, when I moved out to California, Steven then got hired by Marvel to do Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, and so
Cool.
Silverline just kind of disappeared. It wasn't something we just said, "Oh, all right, we're done." It's just like, all right, well, there's really no need to do this anymore. You're drawing Spider-Man. I'm editing out here at Malibu. Fast forward a little bit. Marvel buys Malibu. They declare bankruptcy, and then they fire everybody. That was they fired everybody in 96, right? So in 97, I decided, well, you know what? I know how to do it now. I didn't know how to do it in 87, but I know how to do it now. So I am going to relaunch. I'm going to start a publishing company, but I'm going to call it Silverline because that's what we called the packaging
other
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from 97 to 2001, I published about 13 comics, and I lost about $20,000 until my wife said, "Stop it! You're not going to lose any more money." And so I quit because that was, if people don't know that time, the late 90s was an incredible time of a bust. Lots of companies went out of business. Lots of creators left the comic book industry to go elsewhere.
And just especially back then, any time besides almost the more modern era, it was a hard time for indie comics, which you would have been, because not as many people know about you. It's even hard now, but
yes, yeah. So after that, then what happened is I went back to school, and I got an advanced degree, and I started teaching. So I teach at the university level. That's what my day job is today. I still do that. And then a handful of years ago, I remembered how much I love comics and said, I want to make some comics again. And so around 2014, I tried my first Kickstarter campaign. It failed. My very first one failed.
I know how that feels.
Yeah, we set our goal way too high, and but I learned a lot. And after that, I reached out to two of my friends, are Jimmy Palmiotti and Brian Polito. I reached out to them and I said, "Hey, look, you guys do successful campaigns. Give me some feedback." They both did. They were very generous with their time and giving me feedback. And so the campaign that I'm running now is not counting my first failed one. Okay, I don't count that one now. But the campaign now is my 30th campaign, and the 29 that precedes this are all 100% fulfilled and on time.
Oh, that's good. I've ran, well, technically 4. I think 4. Like I did a Kickstarter one that didn't even fund or whatever. And I looked at it a couple of years later. It's like, geez, what was I thinking?
Right? Yeah. Well, it's you got to learn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You got to learn. So.
But they've all fulfilled. Well, one I did a flexible goal, so I got the money, but I didn't meet my goal. So, but I fulfilled it. I fulfilled all of them.
Right.
I think they were a couple months late in fulfillment. Sometimes it was my fault. Sometimes it was somebody else's fault.
Right.
My one that I got, my first major one was through Indiegogo, and they weren't giving me the money, so I was having a hard time because just the finances of things, Canadian bank versus American bank, raising in American funds was a nightmare.
I can only imagine.
But I got it solved and got the money and got my comics printed and got them out there.
Yeah, nice.
So our Miss Fury, she sounds well, we'll look at it for a sec. Well, what are your characters, I guess? Tell us something about your characters, that you have. now or whatever.
Yeah, I can share this. I have a PDF of the book uh, if that helps. So Miss Fury is a public domain. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I was thinking she might be. That's what sort of what I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
Goodnight Spoon asks, who would win in a fight, the champion or Solomon Grundy?
With the champion, right? He's my guy. Champion's my guy. He's gonna win. Yeah. I do have to before he asks too many more questions, which I'm happy to answer. I'm not well versed in DC, because I was a Marvel zombie as a kid. I mean I bought the Teen Titans because of George Perez. I bought I did get some of them, especially after Crisis, but I'm just not as well versed in DC. So it depends on how deep in DC lore you go. Um, and of course, I will also add this. I am not the target audience for Marvel and DC anymore. I haven't read Marvel or DC comic anything new Marvel and DC in the last 15 years. So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Goodnight Spoon asks another question.
All
Who
right.
would win in a fight between the champion and Canadian Shield? And that's my character that he's referring to.
Okay. So now he puts me in between a rock and a hard place, right? Yeah.
Just say, you say I don't know enough about the Canadian Shield to answer that properly.
That's actually true. I don't know enough about that. About the Canadian Shield. Well, that's a cool name, though. I will say that.
Yeah. Well,
I like
when I first created it, I was probably thinking more Captain America-esque.
Right.
It's more. It ends up being a little bit more Superman-esque.
Okay.
But the Canadian Shield is a geological formation. So, but knowing that, finding out that in like school, I'm like that would make the great sounding hero name.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah. So wait, what is the Canadian Shield then?
It's some geological thing. It expands from like northern Canada down into a little bit into the States.
Wow. Is it like plate tectonic kind of thing? Is it like a
something like that? I'm not sure exactly. I've read about it, but I forget. It's like I know it's something geological, and because that makes it the name public domain, so anybody can use that as a name. So there's a few other Canadian Shields out there, but there's none like mine. So
Gotcha.
Mine's an 8 foot tall, built like a brick house.
Nice.
Like Hulk size look, Hulk build, Hulk or Juggernaut.
Yeah.
So
nice.
and
Very
the suit gives him like Superman. He wears a suit that gives him his powers. He's got like Superman type abilities. So except for the heat vision, cold breath.
Yeah. Yeah. So Miss Fury is a public domain character. So Miss Fury is a character created in the 1940s by Tart Mills, the first female creator of a character back then. I wrote a mini series for Malibu in the early 90s, which is the first time, to my knowledge, that Miss Fury saw print since the 1940s in new material. There were reprints of Miss Fury, of course, but the 1990 series was the first time that she had seen any new stories. And then, of course, now Miss Fury is public domain. And so I really wanted part of the reason Miss Fury is there. Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, it's just a female character and she's sexy, right? Number two, I wanted to tell some more stories featuring that character. And then Champion, who's the other character, was a character that debuted in Cat and Mouse. So Cat and Mouse is probably the most popular series that I wrote that folks asked me about. It ran for about 2 years in the early 90s. It was in the top 10 black and white comics for about half of the run, as determined by Comic Shop News, which is a little weekly magazine. Those guys always liked me, and I was very, very appreciative of that. As well as this guy, this big brown guy right here. He made his debut in Cat and Mouse as well, and he was probably just as popular as the characters Cat and Mouse themselves. And he had a mini series. He's kind of wormed his way into the story simply because my artist said, "Hey, we want to draw him in the story." And I'm like, "Well, but he's not in the story." That, yeah, but we want to draw him in the story. So I had to revise the issue story, right, and work him into the story. And it's funny because on this other cover they argue. I'm like, "Well, he's not even on the cover." And they, well, there he is. That's his hand, right? Oh, you can't see my cursor, can you? In the bottom right, that's his hand as she's trying to save him.
Yeah. She looks like I'm not sure, I don't know too much about her. Like I sort of did know the public domain thing, but she looks like a cross between maybe Zorro and Catwoman.
Well, so the funny thing is she actually predates Catwoman, because one of the things that happens to me sometimes when I talk about Miss Fury is people say, "Oh, well, she's just a ripoff of Catwoman." I said, "Well, actually, it's the other way around. Catwoman is a ripoff of her."
Oh yeah, well, I just Catwoman's more popular, so.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely more popular. Yeah, and then of course this is our special Tommy cover. Tommy is our inker, and he does when we do shows. He has a style of his sketches that he just calls his kid hero style, in which they have tiny little bodies and great big heads, and so so he did
when I was seeing that cover before, I said, I guess Miss Fury looked a little Batmite-ish.
Yes, I said the same thing to him. Yeah, it looks a bit. I think it looks a little bit like the Mighty Mites, which was an independent comic in the '80s. But this art is awesome. The penciler is Peter Clinton. Thomas Flormonti did the inks, and Roberta Conroy did the colors. And these guys have just done a incredible job. This is just a great looking work here.
Yeah, I'm liking the art.
And I didn't do any of the artwork, so I can say that. I mean, obviously, I think you're going to like the story, but this artwork is just phenomenal.
And we do have another couple of questions from Goodnight Spoon.
Okay.
He says, if Champion was on a blind date, where would it be, and what would he order, and does he order for his date?
If Champion was on a blind date, he would go to Firehouse, either Firehouse Pizza or Firehouse Subs. He's a fireman. He would go to Firehouse Subs, and he would pay but not order for his date.
Cool. I skipped the question blocked by YouTube. I asked him to rank various famous pizza franchises in a tier list.
Oh my goodness, rank them. Well, that's hard for me to do. I wouldn't consider myself a pizza connoisseur. I can tell you of our 3 local ones that we get. Well, no, there's 4. We have a New York pizza here. We have a Little Caesars. We have a Domino's, and we have a shoot. What's the other one? Caesars. I see it in my head. There's 4 of them.
I know 2 of them, anyways.
Crap. Let me Google real quick. Pizza near me.
While you're doing that, he's got another
question.
Yeah, I'm catching up. He's written these over the last 5 or 10 minutes while we're talking.
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, who would win in a fight between the Fury? I think he means Miss Fury and the Shadow. And what would they eat on a date?
Fury and the Shadow eat on the date. I forgot about that one. That one's around too. Well, obviously Miss Fury would win, because she's just badder. She would knock the Shadow's gun out pretty quick, and then just proceed to rip him to shreds. If they went on a date, she would probably want him to take her to Five Guys burgers and fries.
Yeah, and I think with putting her in these, you've updated her so she's in the 90s, or the modern day, not
Correct. Yeah. This is not 1940s.
He's like, I should go make something to eat. I'm not. I'm starving. Good answer.
I'm having to type here and try to answer questions.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's see here. It's not giving me what I want. So I may just skip that other. I forgot about. We do have a mellow mushroom. That's not too far from here. So I'm just gonna have to go with. We have Little Caesars, Domino's, New York Pizza, and I'll go ahead and put mellow mushroom up there. I'm gonna say probably Little Caesars first, mellow mushroom second, Domino's third, and then New York Pizza. I really wanted to like New York Pizza. I really wanted to, but we tried it twice now. It just didn't do it for us, right?
Yeah.
Domino's is further down the list because it tends to be really greasy, right? It's just super greasy. We can't even we get a Domino's, and we do that. We do sometimes, especially if we're in a hurry, really hungry, right? The Domino's is the closest to us, so they can get it to us the quickest. We put it on the counter. We can't even put it on the counter anymore. We put it on the stove because we put it on the counter. It just leaves these big greasy spots, right? So Mount Mushroom is high up because it has a really good pizza. We don't go that much because it requires you. Well, I guess they could probably deliver. I guess everybody pretty much delivers, or well, not deliver. You could pick it up since the plague. But we just don't go. We just don't go to Mellow Mushroom. So Little Caesars is probably our default pizza of choice.
Cool.
I don't think I've ever thought that much about pizza in my life.
Leave it to my chat. Good night says, I like that this guy knows his characters well enough to answer absurd questions.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bring them on. Bring them on.
And then he says, Rick, I'm watching. Or he does Rick with the watching eyes.
Right. Yeah. You know what I like to say about our campaigns, especially for folks who've never heard of me or never heard of us, is like, look, here's the deal. I know there are a lot of campaigns out there, and I'm one, right? I'm still waiting on a campaign I backed like 3 years ago, right? I get it.
I think I know which one that might be.
I try to be a positive guy. I'm not a negative guy. You won't find me talking, bad mouth and then sometimes it's hard not to get drawn into these things. But that's not who I am.
Yeah,
that's not who we are.
I will again. I'm not one for the drama on this channel. Yes, sometimes I'll mention some of this stuff that's going on, and my feelings towards something. But I don't dwell on it. Let's get on with it. We've said our piece. We don't need to dwell on it. I don't want this to be a drama channel. This channel about me and my comics. It's become a little bit about my life. Trying to let other people know about other creators. And all that. The little bit of art that I do.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. I think. But like I said, one of the things I would say is here's the thing, right? We know that folks have a lot of choices for their money, particularly for comic books. And so the promises that we make are that, we're going to deliver when we say we're going to deliver. As the writer and not the artist, I'm going to tell you, you're going to love the artwork on this book, right? And of course, I'm trying to flip through and show you. So I can't show you the very ending because that gives away the ending.
Yeah, you don't want to give away stuff. I get that.
But you're going to like the art. Again, will you like the story? I don't know. I tend to think so. If you're one of these who likes fun comic books, I'm very much a child when it comes to comic books. I'm very much a child of the 70s and 80s, so you can see my influences in my storytelling from that. I think you'll like it. Spider-Man was one of my favorite characters. You see a lot of Spider-Man personality. It's not Spider-Man, but you see a lot of that kind of personality in the character of the Demon. He has those kinds of Spider-Man kinds of quips and the smart mouth to him and that kind of thing. So our thing is you'll get the book, you'll get it on time, you'll like the art, you might like the story. I think you will, but at least you'll get it. You won't be waiting for it 3 years.
I hate to say it, it's almost always a crapshoot when picking up a new book, whether you'll
I get it.
But
that's you see all these comics behind me, right? All these comics behind me, with the exception of those top 2 right there, which are just older comics of mine from their Cat and Mouse, I think.
Well, good night.
All the rest of them were crowdfunded.
Cool. Are you going to in demand? I know it ends in 4 days.
It ends on Sunday. It ends this Sunday evening. We do not plan to go on in demand. No, we haven't done that with any of ours, and partly because number one, I can't keep this thing in print, or this foil thing, right? I can't keep this.
You could take the foil off and just offer issue 1 and 2.
So we don't keep it in demand because part of our thought process is, look, you need to get it when we have it offered, right? Part of it, we haven't finished the story. So when issue 3 comes around, we'll crowdfund it, and then issues 1 and 2 will be available then.
And you have your own website, right? So would you be offering like issues 1 and 2 up on your website between now and then? Or?
No. We will sometimes offer them as back issues on our campaigns. Like, we didn't do it this time, mostly because we were in a hurry to finish the campaign. But we often offer back issues as part of our crowdfunding campaigns. And you can go and get pretty much anything that you missed, not the foils or the specials, but anything that you missed, you can get.
The basic comic you can get.
Right. But part of the reason is that what we're doing is we're trying to finish the series and then go to Diamond. So we have been in Diamond since February, and we started with a mini series that we call Trumps. Has nothing to do with the American president. Has everything to do with playing cards.
That's funny. These guys were talking about playing cards in the chat earlier.
Really? Yeah. So this was the first issue that was shipped in February. Issue 4 is in the catalog that was just released, and that's the final issue of the Trumps miniseries. Once we're actually working on this right now. We're trying to make those available now on our website. So our idea is that we're crowdfunding to make the comics so that we can then take them international through Diamond. And then once that happens, we'll make them available on our store.
Cool. Okay, a couple questions here by Goodnight Spoon. If the champion and Miss Fury entered a talent show competition, what would their act be?
A talent show competition. Well, so Champion would have to do, I got to think about this one just a minute. Champion would have to do something physical. He is a firefighter, and so he's a physical guy. So I'm thinking he's probably going to do, he's going to put some boards on a plate and break them with a karate chop, right? His talent will be that. Miss Fury is probably going to be dancing, right? She is incredibly athletic, so she's probably going to be doing some kind of modern, real gymnastic-y kind of dance. I don't know what they call them, but you've seen them. You know what I'm talking about.
Cool. Okay, and then he says, Rick, remind me to back this comic before the campaign ends.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. I would love that. I appreciate that.
That's why I was asking some of those questions, because I know it ends in like about 4 days, and
Yeah.
he said Sunday, and then he says, Rick, go back in time and have this guy on earlier so I can
So
back this before it's the week bills are due.
so I'll offer this up, right? So anyone who's listening, right? Anyone who's listening to this, I'll throw in. There is a tier on there where you can get the back issue. I'll throw in issue 1 for free. You just go back it. You pick either the foil or the standard cover, either one of them. So when you back on Fund My Comic, there's going to be a place for a note. Just put on there cross comic stream. Yeah, that'll be enough for me to remember, and I'll toss in a number 1 for you. Okay, that's my
good
deal.
deal. Cool. And that's untrue. Good night, Spoon. I do not believe playing cards are that.
What?
I
forgot I can open it up. I forgot I can see these things. Let me open this up.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what you want to read.
I had it. Well, I had it set to the private chat. Playing cards. No, I don't believe that. Yeah. Although I am from the southern part of the U.S. I do know people who believe that playing cards is a sin.
Yeah, that I know that, but there are some people that believe they're of the devil and all that. I don't believe that much.
Clearly, my family plays it, plays cards, but there are people who believe that. Not so much here I haven't met so much here in Florida, but when I was in Mississippi, I knew folks that believed that. Yeah.
Yeah. My mom had listened to a guy that did I forget what his name was. I think he was a country guy that he used playing deck of cards as a Bible study for himself. Like different cards meant different things.
Yeah.
Like the 10 reminded him of the 10 lepers that Jesus healed and stuff.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
There's a lot more to it. That king, that God is the king or something like that. I can't remember it all, but it was a neat little thing.
We've actually kind of tried to put a playing card set together featuring the characters from Trumps. What we thought we would do is just like the 1 through 9 would be just normal cards, but then in the story in Trumps, like
now does that have anything to do with euchre? Trumps?
It does not. I've never played euchre. I know what it is, but I never played it. I think that's more of a northern U.S. thing.
I know there's a couple other card games with Trump in it, but euchre's one that I know more.
Yeah, like spades and or rook, pinochle. Pinocle's a game that my family plays a lot. Top 5 card games, huh? Well, Pinochle has to be for me. Pinochle has to be my top one, and then I would probably say Shanghai Rummy, and then a game called Hand and Foot, which I absolutely love to play with my family, and then King's Reverse, which is really Uno with a regular playing card deck. I can't think of a 5th one. Oh man, let me think of a 5th one. I guess I'd have to throw in Uno. Yeah, that would be mine. The top couple are really easy to do. 5, that got a little bit hard, but yeah, Pinochle. I love Pinochle. That's a fun game.
Yeah, I think I've played it once or twice, not a lot. Okay, so I got your campaign up here. I read the tagline earlier. I played the first video earlier.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Stretch goals is about the only thing that I didn't read about. Stretch goals. What's new? What's next? You reached the first one.
First one's reached.
Yeah, 1,200 for all backers. You're $2 away from the
Yeah.
second one.
Yep. Yeah. And that's going to be a bookmark, and you can see the bookmark is right under there.
Yeah.
We have done. Our folks tend to love bookmarks, and so I've got a. Once you're done there, I've got a whole. You can see me fanning out here. These are the different bookmarks we've done on our campaigns, and so yeah, you can see these. Absolutely love these. We started at some point in time. We used to just put like images on them, right? And then that was from Kalis. And then somewhere along the line, I don't remember what happened. Is we decided we would put text on there, right? And so people just kind of went nuts about it. They're like, "We love that, right? You can't stop reading on a cliffhanger. How could you sleep, right?" So it's all about it's all about reading. Of course, this is just two of our different books. Doesn't have anything. And of course, this is the guy. All right, this is the demon from there. You're quitting there. Sure, I'll save your place, wimp. Right. So let's see here, and then this one. Sheck says, "Keep reading," and then on this side, "Sleep is overrated. Keep reading." Right? Twilight Graham. So yeah, we've done some bookmarks. I love these bookmarks, and folks seem to like them. This was our very first one, and you can see it's an odd shaped size. But all the rest of them are gonna have come in like this, and that's what this one will be. So
cool.
Yeah.
Good Night Spoon says, "Good answer. I would have to accept Hearts, Gin Rummy, Go Fish, Old Maid, Crazy Eights, and Solitaire."
Yeah. I played all of those, but not as often as the other ones I mentioned. So yeah. So the one at the top, obviously, is the foil. That's what we're kind of hoping everybody will get. But if you just want one comic, just like, look, I don't want the foil. I just want a single comic. Give me either cover B or cover C. You can select that.
Yeah, and $15 even for the foil plus shipping is a good price.
Yes, yeah, it really is. I mean, we looked around and see what a lot of other people are doing, and we feel that way. We feel like we got a good deal going.
Yeah, and $7 for the comic plus shipping. That's not too bad. Oh, how many pages?
It's 22 pages of story and art.
Okay. Which is good. So basically a floppy. Yeah.
Yes, it's a floppy. Yes, absolutely.
$7, and then this next one is $12. That's for issue 1 and 2. I take it, of the team up.
You can get issue 1 and 2, or you can get both of the covers. You can get cover B and C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some people tell us, I want both of the non-foil covers, and so that's an option. Or you can get issue 1 and issue 2.
Yeah, so you can get 2 issue 2s or an issue.
Yes.
Issue 1 and 2, maybe even 2 issue 1s.
No, I don't have it there for 2 issue 1s.
Okay.
If you click the little drop-down boxes, you'll be able to see the options there. So okay. So there you can get cover B or C, and then the other selection is cover B or C or issue 1.
Okay. And then this is the foil cover plus one of these.
Yes. Yeah, you can say, I like the foil, but I also want Tommy's cover because that's cute. I like that, right? So you can get that. You can get the foil, plus you can get one of those.
And then, of course, all 3 for the 25 plus shipping.
Yep.
And so this is all issue, I guess this is all issue 2.
Yes,
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the digital one for $5 for number 2, which is pretty good. And then $8 for the ketchup,
Yes.
So, you're adding $3 for, issue 1.
Yes. Yeah.
Or each one's $4. Take your pick.
Right. Yeah. And then we got some nice commissions, which I'm surprised nobody's claimed them yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Peter,
because they're pretty cheap.
yeah, we've almost. This is the first time I think we've never had anybody take commissions. And like I said, that does surprise me. So yeah, there's the Peter Clinton, who is a penciler, and you can see his commissions right there beside it.
Yeah. Okay, two questions. One,
Okay.
does it come with a comic book, like issue 2? We'll say.
Say again.
Does the commission one come with the comic book or not?
Yes. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
get issue 2.
Yes. What'll happen is that is Pete. Well, you're asking about shipping.
No, it's not shipping. Like if you buy the $50
Oh, I see
commission,
what you're saying. Yes, it comes with the comic book, and that's not on there, does it? It doesn't say that. I hate it when they. So what'll happen is Pete will do the commission. It's roughly the size of a backing board, right? And he'll send it to me, and then when I ship the comics out, I just put that in there with the comic. Yeah, with you.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Yeah.
And then the other question would be, does it have to be one of your characters or can it be any character?
Any character. I mean, obviously, we prefer if you choose one of our characters, but
yeah,
no,
I get that.
Hey, Pete, we want you to draw Spider-Man. Pete would be more than happy to draw Spider-Man.
Yeah, makes sense. It doesn't say. I'd ask, the obvious questions.
Yeah, or one of your characters. If you're like, hey, I want you to draw one of my characters. Here's what it looks like. He would be happy to do that as well.
Yeah, if I had the money, I might actually go for that.
Yeah. Pete's fantastic.
And then I guess it's the same for Thomas.
Yeah, and you can see he does it. That's in his Kid Hero style. See how they have those tiny bodies? They have big feet, big heads.
Yeah, almost chibi-ish.
Yes, very much. Yeah, very much so. He that tends to be real popular with Tommy and I do a lot of shows together, and those tend to be real popular with the younger audience in particular.
And again, it would come with the comic and
yes.
Like any character you want.
Right, any character you want.
$35 is. Which is $35 is a good price,
Oh, it's a great price,
sure.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of the pages.
The
original art.
Killer deals for original art. We've got Pete's got a lot of his pencils up there. There's some inks up there from Tommy. A couple of them are gone, as you can see. That one's no longer. That's the splash page. That's no longer available. So. And then one of the covers.
Yeah, cover pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but there's still a lot of original art left. Yeah.
Yeah. Do the original arts come with a comic?
Yes. Yeah.
And I know you say up there for shipping to Canada or outside the U.S., contact you and make up about that. But how about for the regular comic? I know everything is varied in shipping, but for the regular comic, how much is shipping for people?
To the continental
just
US,
to the US.
Yeah, $7. And then I can't remember what I priced Canada earlier, and I can't remember what that was. I use Pirate Ship. And so Pirate Ship lets me send to many foreign countries anywhere from about $12 to $20. But I have to. Part of it is I have to price it based on your country and your address.
Yeah.
And so anybody who's not in the U.S. and says, "Hey, I'm interested in this tier," just zap me your email address with it, and I'll give you a price based on what Pirate Ship tells me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure whether you know this guy, R.J. Carter.
I know R.J. Yeah.
He has a distribution and stuff for that too, for a whole bunch of wide countries to make it cheaper. So I'm not sure whether that hooking up with him for that might help you out or not, or whether you want to. But I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. We talked. I guess just last week, and he mentioned something about that to me, and I just got to get with him about it. I think his plan is
Yeah,
very similar to what Pirate Ship does. Basically, it's just kind of bulk
yeah,
shipping. They collect them, and then put them all in like a big container, and then they get that bulk rate, and then ship them overseas, and then it spreads out that way.
yeah.
So
Stuff
yeah,
here. And yeah, and also he's getting it so people can get your books on like Amazon and
yeah,
Walmart and stuff like that too, Barnes and
right,
Noble. So I'm not
yeah.
sure whether you're against something. I'm not sure whether you're interested in, but
Well, we're
you
headed
know,
in that direction. And again, part of it for us is that we've been doing the crowdfunders, but we're trying to get into the retail shops, right? Retailers don't like to
yeah,
support crowdfunded books at the Kickstarter, at that level. And so part of what we're trying to do is get
yeah,
them funded, get them made, get our exclusives made through our crowdfunder, and then offer it when we finish the series.
yeah,
Then we'll go to Diamond and go through those channels. Yeah. So
yeah.
if any
Because the, yeah. Sorry if
that's
I cut you
okay.
off
I
there.
was going to say, if
Continue.
anybody buys comics at their local shop and go through, I don't have the most recent catalog here, but if you pick up the catalog, just look for Silverline Comics and you'll see one of our books. Probably going to be this month. It'll be Trump's number 4.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, and I think the main thing for most of us people that are doing crowdfunding is eventually not to have to crowdfund because it's a pain in the
Yes,
butt.
it is, and it's work. A lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. What else Good Night Spoon says here? I am incapable of reading on account of having no hands. Okay. I
Well,
don't know what
yeah.
that's about.
We've got the digital version, so you can just use your nose to move the pages.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, might be a little
Okay.
work.
Okay. You might need to know something about Star Trek for the next generation, for this next question. Do you know anything about Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Not really.
Okay. So, okay, he says, if the crystalline entity approached your universe or universe's world, who would stop it and how? And who would throw a tree?
With no tree at it.
Oh, that tree part is because of my comic in the
Okay.
first issue of the Canadian Shield. When he first puts on the suit, he feels invigorated or something to that, and he goes, grabs a tree, yanks it up out of the ground fully, and tosses it into space like it were playing. So,
Yeah, I don't know what the crystal entity is. Is that
crystalline
like
entity. It's like a giant snowflake in space, but made of crystalline, and it ravages planets,
I'm gonna say
taking the
champion.
venom of.
I'm gonna say champion, and he'd get in a he'd holler at Elon Musk, and he'd say, "Hey man, I need a lift," and Elon would send him into space, and then he'd take a tree with him, right? He'd take a tree with him, and then once he got into space, he'd hop on that. Elon put that car circling the globe, right? Tesla, I guess, right? And then he'd hop on that Tesla. And from that Tesla, he'd hurl the tree at it. How's that? How's that answer? I have no idea what the entity is, but
Yeah, I get it. Not everybody's a Star Trek fan, for sure. Good thing I am. Otherwise, yeah,
yeah.
we'd both be
I
stuck.
watched all the movies and I watched all the Captain Kirk, ones.
Yeah, this is
I haven't really seen.
Picard. This is from the Next Generation.
Oh, now I've seen some of those because I like him, the actor, Professor X. I forget his name.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Thank you, Patrick Stewart. Who, by the way, was in one of my favorite movies, Excalibur. Not a lot of people realize that. Not a lot of people have seen
Yeah,
Excalibur anymore, unfortunately.
yeah.
One of my
No,
favorite
Rick.
movies.
Laura's plan was to beam a tree into space and blow it up with photon torpedoes to demonstrate their power. I don't think that was his plan, but I could be wrong.
But it
Patrick
sounds good.
Warburton. Yeah, I think he's
The
trying
Tick.
to.
He's the Tick,
Uh,
isn't he?
maybe, yeah.
Patrick Warburton. I think he played the Tick.
I think there's been I think two different people playing the Tick because there's been I think two different live action series.
Yeah, I
There
didn't see
was
the other.
there was the Amazon one, which was not too bad, and then there was
Yeah,
another one that was really even cheesier than the cartoon,
yeah,
which is saying something.
yeah. Um, and Patrick
Uh,
Warburton was also something else. He was on like Night Court or something, wasn't he?
maybe.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I watch movies, but I don't watch a whole lot of TV, mostly because I don't have time.
Yeah,
I mean, I like TV, but I don't have time.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
With a busy life, it can be. All that. The Amazon one is better than the Fox one. Says Amazon. Yeah, that's what I
uh,
was saying for the
yeah,
Tick. And he said Excalibur was good. I think I
yeah.
saw it as a child, and it was scary.
Ooh, yeah. If you saw it as a child, yeah, it's not a children's movie.
That's,
Yeah, it is pretty. There are some pretty scary scenes in it. One of the coolest ones is the crow picking the guy's eyes out when they're looking for the Holy Grail. Um, yeah.
so, who's your favorite hero,
Um,
superhero, or whatever?
I'm gonna say of all time, probably Spider-Man. Classic Spider-Man, because he's just the average guy. He gets powers, and he wants to do good. He tries to do good, but it's always interfering with the life that he has to live. Right? Because he
Yeah,
still has to pay his rent. He still has to answer to Aunt May. He still has to have a girlfriend. And so he's trying to take pictures for the Daily Bugle. Um, but he still tries to do the good and right thing. So yeah, for me, probably Spider-Man.
and favorite villain.
By Doctor Octopus. Yeah, yeah. Maybe because he's a. I know you probably expected me to say Joker, but I'm really jokered out. I'm
Well,
not.
I don't expect. I've had a wide variety of answers. Yes, Joker's probably come up a few times. Even
Yeah.
probably Doctor Doom.
Oh
There's a
yeah, yeah,
few
yeah,
regulars. Maybe Magneto, but everybody's got their favorite for different reasons.
yeah,
It was. It is funny. Doc Ock became Spider-Man for Bet.
yeah. That's what I've heard. I didn't read those, but yeah,
I
yeah.
did, but yeah, but still, but it's a Spider-Man villain too. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, probably Doc Ock. I think Spider-Man 2, probably one of the best superhero movies ever made. I think that was, even though it had Tobey Maguire in it, the
yeah.
action scenes with he and Doc Ock were just fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was good. Spider-Man 1 was not bad. I wish they would have stuck more to the original look for Green
I agree.
Goblin.
I agree.
Doc Ock they did pretty good, and then Spider-Man 3 just sucked.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 3 was like trying to fit three different I think the guy who Hayden Church would have been a great Sandman, and that could have been the movie all alone, just Sandman,
yeah,
you know.
because Venom deserves his own movie too as a
Venom
villain.
deserves his own movie. Yeah. Part of my problem with something like that is what happens, right? Is that they get a cast and they make a movie, and they know they're going to make 3 Spider-Man movies, right? So they get a cast. Oh, and these other people, they want to come back, the villains, right? It's like, no, I don't need you to come back. I saw you. You're dead or defeated or in jail. Stay
Yeah.
there. Let's see some other bad guys, right?
Well, they could do it like sort of what, like the Nolan Batman series with Batman
Uh-huh.
Begins, where you've seen Scarecrow in the second one just briefly, but you know
Right.
he wasn't the main focus. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I
he was
agree.
just
He was part
throwaway.
of the world.
Yeah, and that's what the problem with a lot of the older superhero movies is they kill off the villains. You know, in the
Yeah.
movie, you know, like the original Batman, 4 Batman movies, they kill off Joker first one, and they kill off
Right.
Penguin. They kill
Yeah.
off, you know, yeah, Penguin. They almost killed a cat one. They killed off. They killed them off. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
they don't get killed off in the comics, so they're to come back at some point. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, you're probably never going to get around to it because you haven't got around to half of the stuff that you could.
Right.
People want to see. But. And then again, with usually superhero films, number 1 and number 2 aren't too bad, and then
Right.
they ruin number 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. So
Yeah.
there's probably a few that work
Not too
out
far
all
off, I
right.
don't think. Yeah.
You know, like X-Men 1 and 2 were pretty good.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1 and 2 were pretty good.
Yeah.
The Nolan Batmans 1 and 2 were good. And number 3s of all of those,
Horrible piece of crap. Yeah.
Iron Man 1 and 2 good.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
You're right. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm sure there's more out there. You know, you get the odd time you get a good one. I think Captain America number 3 was all right. You know, good.
I think Cap was done right.
Even Thor number 3 was pretty good. You know, but that's getting into the era of better comic book movies too. So
Right. Yeah.
let's see. How dare you? But how dare you? Back to the Future 3 is the best one and a national treasure. Well, yes,
But you did say superhero movies. You didn't
Yeah.
say just movies. So Back to the Future is not a superhero movie.
true. Yeah, but it's and there are the exceptions to every rule, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. There absolutely are.
He said Joker is garbage. Top tier is Clayface, Two-Face, and Two Clay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he means by Two Clay. But I think I can't think of anything. If anybody's got some questions and more questions in the chat, good questions.
Yeah.
Not much I can think of at the moment myself. Anything else that you would like to say or whatever?
No,
And
just nothing that I can't think that hadn't already been said. Like I said, just I know a lot of folks probably never heard of me, never heard of Silverline. I've been around for 30 years making comics, so you can find if you Google me, you can find me on I think I'm on the Marvel Wiki database as well as what's the other one that I come up on? As a comic creator, when it comes up and it lists the works that creator has done. I don't think it has all of the stuff though, because everything I've done really is except for my editing, everything was for independent comics. So the only thing I would say is, hey, if you like independent comics and you don't spend your money on corporate comics, give us a chance. Give us a chance and give us a shot. And I don't think you will be unhappy.
Okay, and Good Night Spoon says Marty McFly is my hero and a role model, and he's super. And he says, I have one last question before grading his responses tonight. Okay, what is a Good Night Spoon?
All right.
We will wait in anticipation. Good night. No.
Okay, so he hadn't submitted the last question yet, right?
Yeah, no. But yeah, it's been good having you on. I think this is the first time we've really talked. We've followed each other on Twitter for a while.
Yes,
and
sir.
although it was a crazy bad thing that got this, that stupid spam link, I think it did good because, I got on somebody's show that I hadn't been on in a while. I've having you on, getting to promote you. And I think there was a couple other places that I was sort of invited for the chat or whatever to promote. So, it may have been something pathetic, but it
Yeah,
got people
right.
talking a little bit.
What is it?
Uh,
What Satan intend for evil, God meant for good, something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you very much for having me on, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me time to talk about comics and a little bit of my background, and certainly this crowdfunder. I appreciate that. Love comics, love making them, and once again, I'm very sorry for being late.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Good night, Princess. Can I go to bed now? That's his
Yes,
question.
you may go to bed.
He says this is worth half of your grade. So
Okay,
there
all
you
right.
go. You can go to bed. We both
I
say
need
you could go to bed.
I need some comments
But
on
I guess we
my
will.
grade, please.
Okay, I guess we wait till the grade comes in and then we uh,
But
B,
YouTube,
your
it's
last. You lost point for unanswered questions. YouTube deleted, but overall, good job.
well, you know what?
Hey,
Send them
it
to
should
me.
not be deducted against.
Send them to me or post them on Twitter. I'll answer them there.
Unfortunately, Good Night Spoon, unfortunately, is not on Twitter. But yeah, all your social media is down there: Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook.
I do Twitter and Facebook mostly.
Yeah.
Minus.
But I'm sure through your website or maybe even on Fund My Comics, you can get maybe an email so you can write you
Absolutely.
maybe an email.
Absolutely. I'm not hard to find. Just remember Roland Man, right? And I'm not
Oh,
hard.
and Good Night Spoon corrects me. It's not a B, it's a B minus. Oh,
Thank
B
you.
plus now.
Thank you. I appreciate the B plus.
He's bumped it up to a B plus. That's close to an A, right?
It is. It's very close to an A. That's right.
Well, again, thank you for coming on, Roland, and thanks everybody in the chat for coming by. It's been great having you here and talking with Roland about his comic company and his books. And I love doing this. And if you're ever up and you pop in the chat and then you want to come on, let me know. You're free to come on anytime and just talk about whatever. Tuesday nights, cool. I usually just have this. Tuesday nights, I usually have a chill stream where I just talk about whatever with anybody that wants to come on, almost anybody that wants to come on the panel. You know? Well, there's some people out there that you probably don't want to come on your panel.
Oh, yeah.
So, I can't say just anybody. Just
I know what you mean.
In case some wacko comes into the like Good Night Spoon comes into the chat and wants to harass you. No, I tease. Good Night Spoon is good people. I was just teasing him back. Okay.
Just want to answer those questions.
Yes. Okay. So night, everybody. God bless. Have a great, wonderful day, night, whatever it might be. God bless. Make mine silver line.
That's right.